Captains One Cup. My name is Drew Goldfarb, a.k.a. Farbsy. I'm joined by Scorch. That would be Bob. So, Bob, good to have you here tonight. Looking forward to seeing these two teams going head-to-head for a bit because they are very tight in the standings, especially when you factor in the games in hand that 2C, 1C enters today with.
Yeah, those games at hand are huge, especially when you're getting down towards the end of a season. They can make it or break it for a team, and especially when you're up against a team that's ahead of you in the standings. These games are so important for 2C, 1C, as they get these wins, they can jump up the ranks and also put back uh, Groned as well.
2C, 1C currently tied for fifth in the league with 20 points. 10-5-0 record. Corona tied for second with 24 points. But again, they have played a few more games. They are 11-5-2 so far. So yeah, huge night for 2C, 1C. They could easily overtake Corona in the standings just based off of points with a sweep in this series, or if they can even earn a split, if they can earn 3 points in this contest, as long as it isn't 3 consecutive overtime losses, then they could very realistically find themselves closing in on Corona, considering they'd still have those 3 games in hand after today is done.
Yeah, and they also have a chance of being able to take them over with all 3 wins, which would be a achievement of itself going in. But in reality, they're up against a tough opponent when it comes right down to it. I mean, Cronid, they're right there with Zombie, 45 points on the season, 21 goals, and that is really who they're going to be riding on in order to try to get a head start on this. But even so, Pale right behind him with 43 points. It's those two just together will be making it very difficult in order to try to shut them down.
Sedge also has played half of the games as Pale and Zombie and still 29 points. So he's on pace. If you were to take his 9-game numbers and stretch it over the course of 18, he'd be leading the team in literally every offensive category, which is incredible. Really impressive. On the other side, who do you like for 2C, 1C? Because you can look at it and you can see the points leader, Lucas, coming in there. But kind of like with Sedge, SBDR, a.k.a. Steve, only 9 games played, and his numbers have been pretty strong too.
Well, I mean, you're talking about Steve right there. He won the Calder last season, so he's coming back off of his rookie year, trying to keep up that pace. And as you said, only 9 games, 24 points. That is nothing to shy away from. As well, you also got C-Dub with 15 points on defense. He has been getting the points on the assist, so they're focusing through him as well. So for them, it's just rotating the puck. It has been key for their team. Lucas has been the one dishing out the most goals with 23 in 15 games played. But the biggest stat that I'm looking at right now is the special teams. 2 captains, 1 cup, power play percentage 9.5, but their PK is at 90%. Meanwhile, for Cronid, 32% on the power play and 78% on the PK. One of those are going to drop quite a bit. Or
Absolutely,
increase.
and when you take a look at 2C, 1C with their, when you're talking about penalties, C-Dub, the team leader as far as most penalty minutes on the year, 20 penalty minutes in 15 games played. Lucas, on the other hand, 0 penalty minutes through 15 games played, which, you find them on the opposite ends. Obviously, with a defenseman, you find yourself maybe in a position where a good penalty is more reasonable more often than playing the right wing position. But it'll be interesting to see as far as how well or how not well 2C, 1C does as far as avoiding going in the penalty box and putting that big power play out on the ice for Coronad.
Yeah. And meanwhile, you're looking at the other side. You're talking about the defensemen getting the penalties for 2C, 1C, but the forwards are the ones getting the penalties for Coronad. Pale has 22 penalty minutes, Zombie with 18, and they're leading the way in that regard. So you're taking out your center for most of them, and that might be limiting to some of the PK. Take out the center, someone else has to try to win that face-off battle. And if they lose it, that could be the difference between saving by killing off the penalty or by letting an easy goal through.
Will be interesting. And talking about the netminders now, since we've talked about the forwards, we've talked about the defensemen. Let's talk about the netminders just a little bit, because when you're taking a look at these players, Prophets of Rage has played in half of the games for Corona this season. a decent 5-3-1 record. Save percentage pretty decent as well. Goals against average a little bit below 3. Superstar, on the other hand, 10-5-0. Goals against average just a hair above 2. A very strong season for him, facing an average of 13 shots on goal as well. So his defense does a good job of keeping the puck away from him, at least compared to Corona's side. And he also does a good job of making the saves that he needs to.
And yeah, having the top save percentage in the league will get that done, and he might need it today to be able to jump back up into those rankings, be able to use those games on hand against some of the top teams as well. You got a goalie playing that hot. If he can continue that, it might just go the distance.
Since the question appears to be on the screen now, basically, I will pose this to you. Do you agree? Did Han shoot first?
Oh, yes.
Always got to ask that question. That is the correct answer and the only answer. Of course, Han did shoot first in the original cut of Star Wars Episode 4, so that is what we're referring to now. The teams have found each other in the lobby, so we're seeing Han shot first. They are going to be in white. That is Coronad on the left of your screen, taking on the team that is wearing that royal blue and the B on the front. That is 2C, 1C, 2 captains, 1 cup. So it's going to be interesting to see what these teams do here. If you're going into this and you are playing 3 games, if you are 2C, 1C, and you've got the games in hand, are you coming out a bit more cautious in game 1, perhaps, since you know that you've got games in hand to try to build up, or are you going out aggressive right off the bat?
I can see it going either way. They could come out aggressive, trying to show their dominance early on, or they might come out a little bit passive, like you said, having those game on hand, seeing what type of a team they're going to be up against. But I still believe that they're going to come out aggressive, try to get on the board first, and try to get their game to get started.
All right, well, this game number 1 of our triple header, is about to get started as we take a look at the teams getting introduced. In the white and the highlighter yellow, that would be Coronad, and then 2C, 1C wearing the all-royal blue for this contest. They are the home team as far as EA Sports is concerned. But we are going to be looking up, so that is going to be Coronad on the bottom half of your screen. 2 captains, 1 cup coming down, and we are underway with period number 1, game number 1 of this 2-3-9 Hockey League triple header. K-Dog controlling off the draw, but coming in a little bit too quickly with Sedge, so that is going to be a quick offsides whistle with just under 40 seconds gone by in the first period. So a lot of skating. We do see a lot in 6v6 hockey online where a lot of the battle for possession takes place between the tops of the circles. Here's an opportunity for the first offensive possession of the game. It's Corona getting it in front. Loose puck, and it's finally cleared out and just sent back to neutral ice by 2C, 1C. Really quickly entering. Blue line king. Down low. Speeds it towards the goal line, and that quick shot was taken by Zombie, but it is covered up and held. Testing Superstar really quick is Corona.
Yeah, Superstar did a great job being able to get across and hold that post on that low-angle shot. If it could deflect off, then that could have been bad.
Offensive zone draw for Corona, but it is taken and not quite cleared out. So held in at the point by K-Dog. He'll backhand it in. Sedge trying to circle with it, trying to maybe do with a little motion there, but gets it towards the center, gets it back, and takes the shot on goal, but it's kicked aside by Superstar. That puck was just moving very quickly. Corona doing some really nice passing. We kind of saw them warming up a little bit before this series started, and their puck movement was outstanding. There's the first shot of the game for 2C, 1C, and a huge hit delivered behind the play as the puck now centered and cleared out by Corona. Zombie skating in with it, pressured and has the puck knocked away from him. Moving out is Buffalo. Young Buffalo with a player going towards the slot. He's going to get pressured in the corner, takes the puck right back, takes the shot short side, and it's turned away. Puck is thrown towards the net and then just covered up and held by Prophets of Rage as he is tested for the first time in this game.
Yeah, you got to watch out for that injury coming from 2C1C. I believe that was Lucas who went down, and so he's going to be getting a little bit slower.
Defensive zone draw is won by Corona, and now they're moving with it. That is BLK, who moves it and gets it right back, trying to get it into the zone. But again, as we talked about, a lot of this game, the battle for puck possession takes place between the blue lines or between the tops of the face-off circles. When you can get it in deep and you can get it down low, that's where you get a real chance. There's one on a one-timer, and they score just like that. A feed from BLK, and that is going to be Sedge putting it home for the first goal of the game.
And good job on timing there not to draw that offsides, as they were being able to draw that foot across and then set up the nice one-timer.
Coming the other way quick with a chance. That shot is deflected, and then the rebound ends up back in front. But the backhander is turned aside by Rage. Another puck down low. Here's a chance. The puck loose and scooped up by 2C1C. They are able to clear the zone, but only momentarily. Sedge in, one-time feed. The shot, rebound, chance, and covering it up for the whistle is Superstar just past the halfway point of period number 1. We saw one quick rush for 2C1C, Bob, but Coronad has had a lot of pressure since that one opportunity. And, well, in the faceoff circle, they've been great as well, now having won 5 out of 6. K-Dog skating with it. Circling back and trying to move it up, trying to take the red line, or the blue line rather, and they do, but lose the puck immediately as Pale was knocked off of the possession as he entered the zone. Coming in the other way is 2C1C, backhanded around down low. Chance, Steve down low trying to get the puck on goal, but it ends up being pushed towards the corner and then cleared back out at least towards neutral ice by Coronad. Coronad gets the puck in deep, scooping it up there is Geineman, and he's going to push it back towards the point, but it's held in. One-time feed, and the shot whistles wide. Sedge had that opportunity. He was sitting in the same spot, or at least a similar spot, to the one that he scored from just a few minutes ago. 2C1C struggling to get the puck out of the zone. They're just going to have to move it to the opposite corner and try to reset, trying to get something going here. Geineman can't clear the zone. It's just thrown on net, and Superstar will just push it right towards the corner, and that will allow 2C1C to try to clear, but unsuccessful in doing so. 2C1C circling back in their own end. That's C-Dub with it. He's going to move on up, or excuse me, that's rather Buffalo. He has his pocket picked, and it's scooped up at neutral ice, and now picked up again. Moving in with it is Lucas, and a turnover. Sedge moving the other way. 2.5 to play in period number 1. A 1-0 lead thanks to a Sedge goal by Coronad earlier in this period. Lucas down low, goes to the forehand, and he scores, and we are all tied up.
What a move by Lucas, being able to cut it across. It looked like he lost the puck quite a few times and was able to stay with it. And then that sweet deke into the slot and was able to beat Prophets of Rage.
Face-off again goes to Coronad. Under 2 minutes to go here in period number 1. Now a 1-1 contest. Pale gets it back to the point. That shot from the point ricocheted off a few players in front and ended up in the corner. Final minute of play here in period number 1. It has been a relentless offensive effort. Here's Pale in the corner. Final dozen seconds. Long shot from the point. It's faked. BLK takes the shot, gets it down low. The puck's still loose and will be skated back out towards center. Long shot taken on goal and turned aside as we get to the end of period number 1. An eventful first period that sees each team pick up a goal, and we close it out even at 1.
And you were talking about what kind of start that the teams would have, and they both came out looking for trying to get that first goal on the board. Physical play, and also Coronad just playing that trap, being able to just lock them down even inside of 2C1C's own defensive zone. They just were not able to get it out, even with the puck.
There was that huge hit as well that we saw. An interesting look at the animation on the goaltender there. Just looks like he may only weigh about 100 pounds. He may just be a spinal column underneath that giant goaltender jersey. I don't even know if he's got pads under there. But anyway, a lot of shots in that first period. 7 of 5, 2C1C actually getting the advantage in shots on goal. You don't often see teams on pace for 15 to 21 shots after one period of play. That's a lot of shots to see in 6v6.
Oh yeah, especially with their time on attack too. 7 shots and only in just above a minute of time in the zone. That also right there just makes it very difficult. I mean, that's coming in and taking a shot. Don't know if that's their game plan, trying to get pucks on Rage, or if it's just a shot out to Coronad and their defensive style, limiting, making sure that the shots are coming in from decent opportunity chances that Rage has a chance to save.
2C1C wins the draw to open the second period. That shot whistles wide, ends up in the corner, and eventually will be taken and cleared out by Coronad. Back towards center, but a nice job there by the defenseman Geineman, who's going to scoop it up and pass it up. Steele just inside their own blue line, and here comes Sedge. He's got the goal for Coronad. In the circle, he's pushed off the puck, tries to steal it back, but no dice. Steve moving up with it. passes on ahead to the centerman, Buffalo. He has it poked away from him, and it's taken by Zombie, who will drop it back to the defenseman, and that pass into the other zone is intercepted by Geinman. Played on ahead now. Steve dropped it off. Long shot, ends up being blocked. Steve will scoop it up in the corner. He's behind the net, tries for that wraparound. That backhand feed towards the slot was turned aside and ends up in the corner. Opportunity here with zone presence, but a good job on the forecheck by Sedge to force that puck back towards neutral ice. As these teams now once again continue to battle for possession in the neutral zone. Down low, that feed was just barely goes a little bit wide towards the corner. Corona with that chance trying to get it down towards the slot area. Can they do anything with it? Centering feed is banked off of a player and will be skated out. So some back and forth here that we've seen so far, Bob.
Yeah, a little bit of back and forth coming in, and just neither team has really been able to find a good grasp on this period, being able to try to set up or even get their zone possession.
Lucas, he's got that goal so far for 2C1C, but he's knocked off the puck, and it's moved the other way by Corona. Long shot taken, kicked aside by Superstar as Pale was looking to get on the board. Here's another opportunity. Corona establishing the zone presence and again looking for that one-time feed, but it was taken away, and then a huge hit delivered by K-Dog right at the blue line outside the 2C1C zone. Chance again for Corona, circling with it, the defenseman BLK. He gets knocked off the puck, but it took 2 or 3 players to do so, and he gets it right back. Another steal the other way. Steve moving with it, trying to center it. Does, but it's taken right away by Corona. They've done a great job here. A delayed penalty is coming against 2C1C, so we'll see what they do with the man advantages. They will be going to a power play. Corona will have a 2-minute power play. As heading off is Steve for that penalty. I believe that was called a hook.
Yeah, and now we're going to see that dominant penalty kill coming out from 2C1C.
2C1C doing a really good job of just clearing the zone off of that faceoff. That'll kill off the first quarter of this penalty kill for them. Corona trying to set something up. BLK try to get it into the slot area, but it was blocked and taken away. And now 2C1C taking their time. A really great job there of killing the clock. Just making sure they had until the last possible second before sending it all the way down. K-Dog moving with it. And my stream appears to be freezing up momentarily here, but this is K-Dog now trying to move and center himself. He gets knocked down. Puck was loose and thrown on goal, but Superstar was there to make the save, and he will get the whistle.
I seem to have having some delays as well on the stream.
Gotcha. Okay, so it isn't just me. It might just be on the feed that we are picking up. Or I'll blame my dog, who's currently crying in the other room. Offensive zone draw is won by Corona. It's one back. Final 15 seconds of the power play. What can they do? Puck in the slot. One-timer down low, and a great glove save made by Superstar as he gets the whistle with 6 seconds to go on the power play. Zombie was down low and ripped a quick one-time shot.
Yeah, that was a good chance, and the only chance they were going to have on that power play with only 1 second left.
There's a one-timer again. The puck's still loose. A rebound chance and another one. And again, Superstar hugging the post and turning aside Zombie.
Yeah, and then, once again, some chances up close, but just not able to find it past Superstar.
Steve got it in the offensive end, but turned it over, and now Corona trying to move the other way. K-Dog, the defenseman, getting involved in the rush, but has it stolen, but unable to clear momentarily, but Corona helping out and getting the puck back towards neutral ice, and then skating in just offside was BLK. It has been a back-and-forth game, 1-1 with 4:17 to go here in period number 2. Both goals coming in the first period, the first by Seji, the second by Lucas, responding for 2 captains, 1 cup. Here's a chance now for Steve, trying to get in. Very well defended by K-Dog, and he will end up with the puck on a nice takeaway. A couple circles to get away from Steve, and a nice couple passes to get out of the zone. Sedge enters offensively, dropped it off. Another feed back for Sedge, and it's turned aside by one of the defensemen, actually, for 2C1C, and they will now move it up the other way. Final 2 minutes of period number 2. This is our first game of a triple header for the 239 Hockey League. BLK moving it up, makes the pass. Sedge gets into the offensive end, but again, immediately just turning it over there. And now 2C1C will try to clear the zone. They do. 2-on-1 if they can hurry, but a well-defended rush by K-Dog turns it the other way. Final 5 seconds of the second period. Can Steve generate a chance? Can he generate a shot? He does. Turned aside by the blocker and up over the net at the whistle to mark the end of period number 2. So no scoring in that period, but a lot of huge saves made by Superstar.
Yeah, and those huge saves and a lot of physical play as well, as both teams were just trying to find an advantage against each other. You know, it's a lot of back and forth, and a lot of teams coming, both of them were trying to get across those boards and just getting picked off, either with a check or with a poke check. Doesn't seem like it's working too well for them, but at the same time, when it does, few chances the other way.
Shots in that period favoring Coronad pretty heavily, actually. They were at 5, which continues their pace to be on for 15 in the game. On the other side, meanwhile, 2C1C held to just 1 shot on goal in the period, despite the fact that they had more time on attack in period number 2 than they had in the first period. By 6 seconds, but still, technically, it's more time on attack than they had in the first period.
Yeah, once again, only that 1 shot, and it just, once again, comes down to just where it's been coming from. The shots have just not been able to get up close. Now they were trying to do something a little bit closer this time around. Just weren't able to do it.
Final regulation time period of our first game of this triple header, and Coronad will control off the draw. They enter the zone offensively as well, scooping it up back behind his Sedge. What can he do with it? Can he center it? Can he try to get it in front? It is taken away instead by the defenseman for 2C1C, unable to clear the zone though. Zombie gets it down low, and Sedge has his second of the game.
Late just seeing that now, streaming a little bit, as yeah, that just comes through and is just able to beat him on that short side.
It's a great feed and a great setup by Zombie as he held the puck in the offensive zone. 2C1C unable to just clear things out, and that results in a goal and now a lead change. Coronad, their second lead of the game, as an offside whistle comes against 2C1C here under 2 minutes gone by in period number 3. So still plenty of time, but that quick goal to start off the third period is always a difficult one to give up. If you're 2C1C, it's tough to come out of the locker room and immediately give one up, but on the other hand, it gives you a lot of time to try and get a response, and that's not what you want to see, though. Another hooking penalty is coming, as going to the box yet again is Steve. That is his second penalty for hooking of this game. Coronad back on the power play. They were unsuccessful their first time around. They did generate 2 shots on goal during that power play, but Superstar came up big, and there, a nice little clear by 2C1C to start this penalty kill.
Yeah, this is a good time for Coronad to try to punish them, being up by 1, be able to double that lead.
Nice steal there entering the offensive end, but here we go. Another chance on the one-timer. Very well read and defended by 2C1C because Sedge was looking for that hat trick. Ooh, and they're going to have a huge opportunity. A 5-on-3 for 59 seconds. I believe that was a delay of game call against 2C1C. So they're going to be shorthanded by 2 players for the next 59 seconds. They're now down to 35 seconds on that kill, but a huge opportunity for Coronad to try to get some distance between them and 2C1C if they can capitalize in this next minute and 15 seconds or so while they're still on the man advantage. A quick one-timer, and that shot ends up in the corner from K-Dog. Another one-time feed blocked in front. Very well defended, and then the puck sent back out as they were trying to catch Steve coming out of the penalty box. They got it to him initially, but unable to enter the zone. Here's a shorthand chance, final 30 seconds of the penalty kill. In deep, Steve down low behind the goal line. He's going to get pushed off the puck by BLK, and now BLK with it. That is the end of the power play, so nothing doing on the 5-on-3. That quick shot generates a rebound chance. Sedge nearly had the hat trick, and Superstar got across and just managed to cover up for the whistle. Really great play by him to keep Sedge from getting number 3.
Yeah, Sedge was just unable to get that backhand where he wanted it to. Not sure if that hit Superstar or hit the post.
That one definitely hit the post. You can hear it as Sedge was again looking for number 3, but again, Superstar will cover up for the whistle. This period has been all Coronad, and that's despite the fact that they didn't really generate a whole lot on their 3 straight minutes worth of power play time, including a minute of 5-on-3. Sedge down low. He's back behind the net, circling with it, trying to center himself perhaps, maybe looking for a pass. Gets that one-time feed, generates the rebound, and they score! Zombie was sitting on the doorstep, and when the shot came from BLK in the high slot area, Zombie was there to just tuck it home, but Sedge doing a great job of creating and starting that play to make it a 3-1 contest.
And Superstar with that big rebound that just let it up. Unfortunately, he had to sprawl out to make that one-time save, but left himself open.
Another delayed penalty is coming against 2C1C as a kick save is made by Superstar, and the puck is touched. This one a trip. And going off this time is going to be C-Dub. So they're going to be down to defensemen this time around. They have killed off all 3 penalties that they have taken so far in this game, having only given up 1 shot on the previous 3 consecutive minutes of power play time. Make the steal right off the draw there, and they will send it all the way down. Played well by BLK. I thought that was the goaltender. He was back so quick to pick up that puck. As he moves in, gets that feed down low for Sedge, and it's turned aside by Superstar. Sedge again with the puck. Final minute of the power play. Spinning around a defender, gets it down low, feed towards the slot area, and BLK shot it towards the corner, and then it's cleared all the way down by 2C1C with 40 seconds to go in the power play. And now a penalty going the other way. A charge coming up against Pale as he will go off. So 34 seconds of 4-on-4. Yep, that would be a charge. Definitely took more than a couple steps there as the captain heads off to the box for, I believe that's just going to be 2 minutes, but we will see obviously momentarily. Offensive zone draw now for 2C1C. 9:35 to play, but they lose the faceoff to Coronad, and skating out with it is K-Dog. So the winger stepping in for the penalized Pale comes in and wins a faceoff for Coronad in the defensive zone. That is huge for them. And now a power play chance the other way, 2C1C. Minute and 15, now minute 10 of power play time for them. Steve enters the zone, drops it off. Feed down low towards the slot, and that shot is turned aside and just swallowed up by Rage. So he gets a whistle with 54 seconds remaining in the man advantage for 2C1C.
And this is a huge chance for 2C1C to try to make their way back into this game with this power play.
Buffalo won the draw. That shot from the point ends up going off of the skate of K-Dog. Unable to clear the zone momentarily is Corona, but they do now. That long feed goes up. Short-handed chance. The other way, that quick shot blocked. Generates a puck still loose in front and then taken away and moved out by 2C1C. Here's a chance for Steve. Final moments of the power plays. We are back to 5-on-5, 6v6 hockey. Long clearing pass. Omaha of sorts was going to go for an icing as they were trying to maybe generate a breakaway chance out of having Pale coming straight out of the penalty box there. Offensive zone draw is coming for 2C1C. 7:09 to go in period number 3. A 3-1 game. 2 goals scored in this period by Coronad. So it's going to be interesting to see what these teams can do here in the final minutes. It's going to take something from 2C1C if they can generate a comeback here in this third period. Sedge gets it in front, and it is turned aside, or taken away, I should say, by the defenseman for 2C1C. Steve down low, tries to just swing it on goal, and getting almost out of position to be in position was Rage, but he made the save, and that was what was important. Sedge moving in behind the net, beneath the goal line, in the corner now, killing off some time, centering feed, puck now taken in front. 3-on-2 the other way. All 3 forwards are moving in, but a great steal made by K-Dog, and a long feed up for Zombie. Dropped off. Pale with it. Tried to get it down low again, was looking for Zombie, but it was intercepted and taken away, not quite cleared out of the zone. Steve picking the pocket of BLK just inside the blue line, and they'll move it out and out. Final 2.5 minutes of this final regulation time period, and a 2-on-1 coming the other way. Sedge with Zombie, drops it off for Pale. It's still loose in front. Sedge scoops it up, circling with it, now back beneath. Pale trying to get it back for Sedge, but it's read and intercepted by BLK and moved on out. Final 60 seconds of this period. If 2C1C is going to generate a comeback, they need to do something very quickly. Puck is in deep. Steve pushed off the puck by BLK, and they're just going to send it the length of the ice. That will not go for an icing as it went off of the goaltender Superstar. He had to hug the post, and now an interception by BLK down low. Final 35 seconds, and BLK will just shove it on goal. And Superstar will cover up for a whistle with 34.7 to go in this third period.
And 2C1C just not able to get those chances here late. just every single time that they try to get in there, just getting picked off in one way.
2C1C making that long pass on ahead, but that's going to go for an icing as it is reached by Coronad first with 24.5 to go in period number 3. Game not technically over yet, but a face-off win for Coronad would pretty much put this one out of reach for 2C1C. A tie-up off the draw, and the puck is scooped up by Coronad, but not really controlled and taken out by 2C1C. Nice poke check, generating the turnover by K-Dog. And now with the puck entering the offensive end in the final 10 seconds, this game is all but over. Steve trying to get it in front, but it ends up in the corner. And Coronad, Steve, with that little one-time feed, I thought we might see a quick goal to make it a 3-2 final, but we don't. Your final score is 3-1 thanks to 2 third-period goals from Coronad and a relentless 10 shots on goal. They outshot 2C1C 15-2 over the course of the final 2 periods of that contest.
And just as you said, those shots, I mean, we look at the first period, the shots were pretty heavily equal, and then 2C1C just weren't able to make the shots get to the net anymore, and as a result, it limits the amount of scoring opportunities they were able to take.
Yeah, shots on goal in that first period, 7 of 5, actually in favor of 2C1C. The final shot totals 20-9 in favor of Coronad. So 1 shot on goal generated in the second period, 1 shot on goal generated in the third period for 2C1C, and that just isn't going to win you any games when you're tied at 1 after the first period. You cannot expect to win if you're only going to generate 1 shot on goal per period in the final 40 minutes.
Yeah. But one thing that they still have is their penalty kill. Their penalty kill stays perfect at 90% coming into the series, just remains strong, and they were able to just take away pucks throughout their whole entire penalty kill, and they were doing very well on that, but at the same time, they couldn't get any opportunities down on the other side. Time on attack for Coronad, 10 minutes out of the game, they were in the offensive zone, and you have that much time, you have that much time to really set up, good things are going to happen for you.
So now we are ready for game number 2. Coronad controlled the final 40 minutes, although the first 20 was really even, as you said. What do you have to do if you're 2C1C here to shake that off and get back in it here in game number 2?
Just take your composure. A good quick goal here early in the first period would do a great way to offset that. But at the same time, you do not want to get scored on first in this one, as you really, after that first goal, you were able to tie it up, but then you just weren't able to gain any scoring opportunities after that. So being able to just dictate the play early on, be able to set up and just have a chance in the offensive zone, be able to get your passes and find a way to get that puck to the net as well. Look for rebounds.
We will see if they are able to do that. So the team should be switching which ones are at home. So those highlighter yellow jerseys that you're seeing on your screen, I believe, is what we're going to be looking at for the next game here, game number 2 between these two teams. They have found each other in the lobby, and we are getting ready for game number 2. Always like to see the designs of the teams in this game, because you can go so many different creative ways, and Coronad going with that old, predating the Arizona Coyotes, the Phoenix Coyotes secondary logo, their center ice logo, the crescent moon. Always love seeing that one in use.
Also going with that Corona drink yellow as well.
and of course a lime. You gotta have a lime with your Corona. Apparently, they're going with, it's a lemon and lime look. It's interesting. We are not sponsored by any highlighter companies, but I do have a Bic Bright Liner sitting on my desk that is about the same color as this jersey, so that it's interesting. Also a Sharpie gel highlighter, apparently. Just looking at my pen cup thing, which is actually an R2-D2.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah, I was at a Colorado Rockies game last summer, and that was a giveaway. Was an R2-D2 like pen holder, pencil holder, whatever that is, and for some reason my Amazon device decided to think that I was speaking to it when I started talking about R2-D2. I talk about one, droid sitting on my desk, and apparently another one decides to speak out, so who knows. Anyway, game number 2 of this series, as you see, 2 captains, 1 cup. They are in white, and then in those bright fluorescent highlighter yellow, that would be Coronad, as we are ready for game number 2. Seji was on fire in that first game. He had 2 goals, but really could have finished with anywhere from 3 to 5 with the chances that he had, especially in the later minutes, that last period of that contest. Coronad managed to dump it in off of the draw here, but it's scooped up by 2C1C as they will move it on out. So interesting to see what they could do if they could generate some scoring chances early. Steve takes the shot, but it's blocked in traffic in front, and then BLK is going to move it on ahead. Nice pass up. Pale drops it off for Sedge. Centering feed back for Pale, and it's picked off. It was tipped away by the stick of one of the defenders in there for 2C1C. There's a one-time feed for Sedge, and that one off the side of the net. He scoops it back up, though. Sedge, the backhander feed between the legs, but it ends up being intercepted and played back out and into the Coronad end, where it will be scooped up eventually by Sedge. Great night that he has had. Pointed out that his numbers entering today came in just 9 games played, but he still had 16 goals on the season. Now 18 goals through 10 games. There's a quick chance the other way. 2C1C had an opportunity down low. I believe Lucas will get credit for that shot on goal, but a nice little save made by Rage as he had to make sure that he kicked that leg back towards the post.
It was a good job dropping into that butterfly and just taking away all that empty net.
Sedge moving into the offensive end. Defended well, manages to center, but it's well read and intercepted by Steve. He will play it back to the defenseman C-Dub, and then to his defensive partner. No, actually, that's the centerman. That is Buffalo. I don't know why EA Sports decides to have all of the very similar colors on the same team for 6v6, but there's a rebound chance generated in front, and Lucas unable to beat Rage with that little backhand chip shot with 11:37 to go in the first period. It is weird to me that, like, you have the 2 shades of blue on the host side. Those are both on Coronad on your screen. As a tie-up off the draw goes Coronad's way. And then you have brown, orange, and yellow all on 2C1C on the non-host side. It's weird to see that. But there's a quick shot from the point that generated a juicy rebound, but was nicely cleared out by, I believe that was Geinman getting down low, one of the defensemen for 2C1C. Chance now, and a power play opportunity going to be happening for 2C1C as a trip will be called against K-Dog. So down to defenseman for the next 2 minutes. And a big chance for 2 captains, 1 cup here. But Coronad wins the draw and manages to clear, but not all the way down. It only goes back towards center ice. So we'll see what the power play can do for 2C1C. They were unsuccessful in their only power play chance. It was an abbreviated one, technically, of game number 1. They had about 90 seconds of power play time in that contest and were unable to do anything with it. Past the halfway mark of period number 1. Game number 2, this 239 Hockey League presentation. One-time feed, and that one is blocked. Dangerous thing to do if you're a player at home. Sedge getting the leg in the lane, and now a save is made as well by Rage. That is a painful one if you've ever played rec hockey or pickup hockey or anything. I don't care what leg pad, hockey shorts you're wearing. That hurts. Defensive zone draw is won by Coronad, and they're going to clear it out. And just skating with it is BLK. That should do it for this entire power play chance. Sedge with it, down low, takes a shot, turned aside, and Superstar will get the glove across to cover up for the whistle with 7:50 to go in the first period. So nothing doing on the power play chance for 2C1C. A good penalty kill by Coronad.
Man, they're doing a good job being able to kill off that penalty and also getting a good chance late, right after that penalty was killed off with Sedge.
Speaking of Sedge, dropping it off. Gets it back on that one-time slap shot from the high slot area, and it's turned aside. Superstar in a weird position, but managed to cover up the puck as he found himself way on the side of the crease there, but held on for the whistle.
All in anticipation.
See what Pale can do with the offensive zone draw here. Tied up and scooped up by the right wing. Pale gets it back. Huge opportunity, and he ends up hitting the side of the leg pad of Superstar. He moved to the backhand. He had half the net open and couldn't beat him. He couldn't pull the trigger, and the hesitation cost him.
Yeah, he had that whole entire net wide open, but just wasn't able to flick that stick up and be able to just knock it right in. And as a result, Superstar was able to recover and get that pad out.
Delayed penalty is coming against Coronad, and they will touch the puck. And another 2-minute power play chance for 2C1C is heading off this time. The other defenseman, BLK. So each defenseman now for Corona has been penalized so far in this first period. Just one shot on goal in that first power play chance, but here's an opportunity as they make the steal off of the faceoff. Puck down low, and a nice read and an interception by Zombie as he will just send it all the way down the ice. And giving chase is Geineman, who will play it on ahead to his centerman, Buffalo. Now it's center ice, just trying to find some kind of lane to move in. Enters the offensive end and now gets it in, but a nice job of stealing it away by the centerman, Pale. Long pass up for Sedge, trying to sneak between two defenders, but the puck ends up in the corner. Sedge scoops it back up. Nice spin move. He's in the slot, and a nice steal is made by Steve as he will play it on ahead back towards neutral ice. And now it's played into the zone. Opportunity here in the final moments of this power play chance for 2C1C. Power play is over. Back to 5-on-5, 6v6. The puck is loose in front, and the backhander is flung off the post by Lucas.
Another
now
great
a chance
opportunity.
The other way. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, just another great opportunity that was just knocked away. Wide open net, and just unfortunate not being able to get that in there, and still remains tied 0-0.
The ring or the ping off the post is one of the most devastating sounds you could hear if you're a forward and you're in that kind of positioning, because you know you beat the goalie, you're 4x6, you were just a little bit too wide on it. Final 10 seconds of the first period of play. Still a 0-0 game here in the final moments. Can we get an opportunity either way? We will not, as the first period comes to a close with the score exactly as it was when we started this period. 0-0. Shots in that first period still dominated by Corona, 8-4 in period number one.
But after all, it didn't feel like they had the full control, especially with those two penalties, as they were able to get the shots, but unfortunately we're not able to create the dominance that they had in the previous game. 2C1C was able to get quite a few scoring opportunities on those 4 shots, and a few that they weren't even able to get any shots off as well. Looking to try to get that first goal, try to come back in this series as well.
Shots are 23-6 in favor of Corona over the last 60 minutes of game time as we get underway here in period number 2 of game number 2. Faceoff is won by 2C1C, and the defenseman, now moving with it, Geinman, plays it on ahead, and then it has to be played all the way back because of some good pressure by Corona. That forces a turnover. Sedge behind the net, trying to center. It ends up going off the side of the cage and all the way back down the ice, about 190 feet back towards the other goal line, where Corona will chase it down and start it back on ahead. Pale entering the offensive end. Gets it back. Long shot from the point is taken and turned aside by Superstar. Good opportunity from K-Dog from a long ways away. Did generate a rebound, but 2C1C was there, and they cleared it out. Dumped in as some good pressure right at the points when they're entering the offensive end. Corona is doing a good job of defending that and getting in. There's Pale taking that shot. Puck was loose for a moment, but Superstar will just get the glove on it and draw the whistle with 15:33 to go in the second period.
Those were those players there that shot for a rebound was a good opportunity, being able to see if maybe Superstar came a little bit off that post, and Sedge might have had a good opportunity, but Superstar was able to get in front and cover it up.
Pale won the draw back to K-Dog, but a nice steal, a good job there. Now Lucas entering the offensive end, trying to just push his way in. He generates a shot. The puck's still loose and scooped up by Corona, and now BLK trying to generate some space by slowing things down, and he makes that feed up. Can't enter the offensive zone onside, though. The puck was poked away very well by 2C1C just outside the blue line. Nice hit delivered right at the blue line. A big hit from Steve. Forces the puck to be knocked loose, but still in the offensive end for Corona. Sedge has it taken away, and now 2C1C moves out. Final 12 minutes of period number 2, nearing the halfway mark of this game. That puck on the feed was loose right in the blue paint. Long shot taken. May have been kicked aside. May have been just a hair wide from Geinman up at the point. And it's now moved out by Corona. Sedge in. On the backhand, takes the shot and ends up being saved. Where is it? It's underneath Superstar, and that will draw the whistle with 10:27 to go in period number 2.
Yeah, just crashed the net, see what happens right there. Sedge was able to get that shot off and was just sitting right on that goal line, but unfortunately just didn't have enough momentum to get across.
Corona with possession in the offensive end, right behind the net and getting out in front towards Sedge, where he manages to whip it wide and into the corner. Now an offside whistle with 9:32 to go in the second. So we are past the halfway point of our broadcast evening. We are through the halfway mark of period number 2 of game number 2 of 3 between these teams, Coronad and 2 Captains, 1 Cup. I am Drew Goldfarb, a.k.a. Farbsy, joined by Bob, a.k.a. Scorch. On this broadcast, we have seen Coronad pick up a 3-1 victory in game number 1, and here, scoreless in game number 2. I think Prophet's Rage was looking to generate a shot on goal of his own there. Moving the other way, though, centering feed, and that puck was turned aside. Very well read and played as C-Dub was in deep and generated that chance, but Rage managed to get across and just knock it aside. Here's an opportunity on the rush. Fed down low, and Steve scores! The first lead of the day for 2C1C on a great feed from Buffalo as Steve picks up the goal.
Yeah, Steve was able to get that off as, odd man rush coming back down. Corona just weren't able to just get enough speed to be able to track down Steve after they all slammed on the brakes after entering the defensive zone and being able to get themselves into position. But as a result, we end up flat-footed.
So a 1-0 lead for 2C1C in the final 5.5 minutes of this second period, and now another offensive opportunity as that shot is taken and turned aside by the blocker of Rage. Puck moving the other way. Pale in the offensive end. Wait, feeds Sedge, and that shot is blocked in front. Another centering feed. Really just trying to get that puck towards the slot and generate those quick chances, but here's a tripping call coming up as it is touched by Coronad, and going off is going to be K-Dog yet again, taking another penalty, this time for a trip.
Now, the penalties might be costing them. It might not hit them on the scoreboard, but just having that time away from the offensive zone where they've been dominant in game 1, just ruining their chances to be able to create that type of pressure in this game too.
Pale was trying to do something there with a little shorthanded chance, but this is going to generate an opportunity the other way. They could not get a shot there. Steve gets it down low. That's Buffalo back behind. He's pinned up against the boards. Scoops it back up, though. Can Buffalo find anybody in front? No, it's taken away and then sent back towards neutral ice by Zombie, where it's scooped up by Steve and now played on ahead. Final 40 seconds of the man advantage chance for 2C1C. They would be offside if they had touched it. It's scooped up anyway by Sedge, played back towards center. Buffalo enters the zone. Final 10 seconds of this power play as his shot whistles wide. Back up at the point. Moving in with it. And then a nice job by Coronad of bumping the player off of the puck. This is going to be an icing. It may have been a bit of interference there right out of the box, but no whistle for that one. And instead, an icing on the play with 1:18 to go in period number 2.
Definitely got away with one there, tying them up right as the puck went by them. Might have been close enough, but center ice, that's a stretch.
That's BLK just taking his time, just not moving, almost like a fake disconnect move. Quick shot ends up going wide as K-Dog had the opportunity. Final 6 seconds, puck is in front, and it's picked up by 2C1C, and they will skate it back towards the blue line, and that will do it for period number 2. 1 goal scored, and it's by Steve, so a 1-0 lead for 2C1C after 40 minutes.
And the shots are about even at 12-11 here in the period, but the big one that matters is that 1-0 in favor of 2C1C. And once again, every single time Corona just seems like they have a chance in the offensive zone, and odd man rush comes the other way, resulting in a penalty that just throws off the momentum. They haven't been able to really establish themselves in this game like they did in game 1. See if they can try to fix that up here in period 3.
Shots in the period, 7 of 4 in favor of 2C1C. That is the first time since the first period of game number 1 they have outshot Coronad in a period, as Coronad will win the draw here to begin period number 3. They trail 1-0. Coronad with that first offensive chance, but a nice read and an intercept by Geinman, and I think that was just a quick button push that generated that dump in a little bit deeper on his own, and a penalty is coming now against 2C1C, so power play chance the other way. Coronad will have an opportunity here for the next 2 minutes.
Equalizer chance here.
Face-off goes to Coronad. Opportunity on that feed. Again, looking for Sedge on those one-timers, but 2C1C has done a good job at least in this game, of reading those very well and taking those chances away. Sedge re-entering the zone offensively, spinning around in the circle, puck loose in front, pushed on goal, and Superstar will cover up for the whistle with 17:38 to go in the period and 1:07 to go in the man advantage for two captains.
Once again, Corona just has to find a way to beat them through the special teams.
Tie up off the draw. The puck ends up back at the point. Sedge down low. Centers. Rebound chances generated, and it does not get all the way through as Superstar manages to reach back and cover up for the whistle. A really great opportunity. A couple of quick passes, or a nice pass, a quick shot, a rebound generated. But Superstar standing strong to make the stop and make sure that they did not give up a power play goal. At least there, Pale gets it in front, generates a shot. The rebound is there again, and Superstar reaching out with that glove and covering up for another whistle.
With that previous attempt, once again, Pale just a little second of hesitation once he got that stick on that puck. Might have been able to try to squeak it in off the quick shot, but as a result, Superstar was able to get in front of it, eliminating any chance.
Pale playing it back up towards the point. Now D-to-D pass. Moving in with it. Taking the shot. It ends up going high and wide. Pale backhand wraparound try, and a good job reading that by Superstar. That's a tough animation to counter if you are a goaltender, as the power play has now expired with 16:20 to go in regulation time.
I think Pale has realized his mistake on the last one, trying to make up for it with that wrap. Just a quick little wraparound, trying to make it through. But as you said, a tough animation that Superstar was able to succeed at.
Sedge with it. Down low, trying to go to the backhand, and he was pushed away from the puck by Geinman. Puck still beneath the goal line. A couple of D-to-D passing there for 2C1C. They're able to, no, they could not clear the zone, but they do now. Feed up. Here comes Lucas. Maybe a breakaway chance to the forehand. A huge save is made, and Prophets of Rage will cover up for the whistle with 13:54 to go in this period. What a breakaway chance that was.
A full spread eagle, being able to get down and able to make that save. You'll almost think it was gone once it was getting down in close, but spread it out, and it was able to make it. Great save.
K-Dog, unbelievable save. K-Dog was moving with it, and he fed it up for Sedge. They're trying to find a way to get in the offensive end. They do. Can they get the puck in deep, though? Sedge with it, moving in one-on-one, tries to just get it towards the slot area, but it's well read and intercepted, taken away by Young Buffalo, and now played on ahead. Young Buffalo, the centerman, goes back towards center ice, and now the defenseman feeding it on up. That's Steve with it. Backhand between the legs pass, but it's read and intercepted by BLK. Cannot stay onside, though. 10:53 to go in regulation as we have a whistle. Face off right in front of the 2C1C bench, and it's won back by Corona. Unable to enter the zone cleanly, though, was K-Dog. A nice read and intercept. Just a good job of standing tall and taking that puck away by 2C1C. That's C-Dub getting the puck in deep, but then loses possession, and now it's going the other way. Sedge with a chance. Great job getting a stick on it, but it doesn't matter. Tie game. The captain scoring. Pale picking up the marker, and it is now 1-1.
And this is huge. Once again, a brilliant poke to be able to break up that opportunity, but not enough to stop from the scoring opportunity. And as a result, 1-1 tie, whole new game, as it's very limited amount of time in the third.
That's kind of an unfortunate break for 2C1C because they defended the rush very well, but they just got, as we have an offside with 8:08 to go, they just got basically an unfortunate bounce of the puck off of the poke check, as it ended up being a perfect pass generated up front, and then one pass later, and bam, we are tied at 1. As you see now, the shots on goals, we're going to have a stoppage. I believe a timeout coming the other way for 2C1C is what this looks like. So you see the shots on goal, 17-11 now. As the shots in this period, 5-0 in favor of Corona.
And
trying to get another look at that goal there, but ran out of time on the pause screen, apparently.
Yeah. And Pale with 8 shots on the night, on the game, I should say, as well. Out of those 17, he's been trying to find any way into the back of the net, finally succeeds. Determination paying off.
7 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Here's a rush the other way for 2C1C, but pass by Lucas was off the mark. I think he was looking for that one-time feed, just trying to get it towards the slot area, and instead it ended up going towards the backboards, where it was scooped up by Corona and moved on out. Turnover just inside the offensive end by Corona, and now 2C1C with the chance the other way. Quick shot ends up going high and wide off the glass, and Sedge makes the feed up for the defenseman K-Dog. Offensive end, Zombie can't do anything with it. It ends up loose and scooped up by C-Dub. Now loose again, picked up by C-Dub. Good pressure from Sedge. He generates the shot. May have been off the side of the net. May have been stopped by Superstar. That one's not going to be stopped. Another goal scored by Sedge. And now it is a 2-1 lead for Corona. Out of nowhere, from trailing 1-0 after 2, they are now up 2-1 in the final 4.5 minutes of period number 3.
And this period has been all Corona, and it's showing on the scoreboard as the pressure has just been there, and 2C1C now back on the heroes trying to find a way to push it back up. Let's see what they can do during the remainder of this game to see if they can tie it.
Sedge got the puck right towards that low slot area that they have loved, just trying to push the puck into that spot, but it's taken out the other way. Final 2.5 to go as we have a couple turnovers in that puck possession battle between the tops of the circles. Under 2 minutes left in this period. Now a 2-1 lead as Sedge and Pale have scored in this period for Corona. Steve moving in with it for 2C1C. Final 60 seconds of this period. That shot was redirected in front by Lucas, but well played by Rage to make the save, and the puck is sent all the way down. That will be an icing with 49.7 to go.
And that redeflect might have stood a chance, but unfortunately not enough bodies in front of the net for any type of rebound or second deflection attempt. So as a result, Rage was able to get in front of it and stay in front of it and able to find a way to clear it away.
Quick shot off the faceoff is turned aside by the blocker of Rage. And now a chance the other way. Zombie with it. Loses possession in the slot as he tried to get towards the center of the ice. Moving in the other way. Lucas dropped it off for Buffalo, and then it's lost behind the net. Huge hit is delivered onto Sedge in the offensive end by 2C1C. But it forces that turnover. Final 20 seconds. They are unable to re-enter the offensive end. Sedge can't enter his offensive end. Trying to just get it in the zone, and now Sedge does. Final dozen seconds. Sedge, one-time feed down low, and Pale just missed the net just barely. Final 6 seconds. Maybe chance for one more rush, but they would have been offside, and that will be an icing whistle with 2 seconds left. You could see what 2C1C was trying to do with that play, and they just were skating a little too fast. The pass maybe just a fraction of a second too late to generate that feed for the breakout, and instead a regulation time victory for Corona. A huge come-from-behind win as they pick up the win 2-1.
And you once again look back to that save by Rage, Prophets of Rage, with that huge spread eagle save on that breakaway. It was absolutely huge, just because that would have been the second goal 2C1C would have scored, making this a tie game. Might not even had the comeback from Corona. And that really is the story of that game. Just a huge save. He would be the first star for me, just being able to just make sure that that comeback was even able to happen.
Yeah, that was huge. Absolutely. And Superstar also on the other side, he stopped 18 out of 20 shots. That's, there's not much more that you could do for a team like that. But you look at the way those periods went, and we saw it in game number 1, where 2C1C only mustered 1 shot on goal in the second period, 1 shot on goal in the third period. Here, they held the lead after 2, and in the first 2 periods, they had 4 shots on goal and 7 shots on goal, respectively. The third period, they were outshot 8-1. While trying to hold on to a 1-0 lead, you can't be outshot 8-1 and expect that to go your way. As we were talking about in the last game, it's kind of more of the same thing. You can't expect to be outshot 5-1, 10-1, 8-1 like in this period, and still expect to come away with a victory.
And especially with that one shot coming late in the period, as well as it's just not enough time to be able to try to come back from it. And Corona once again just being able to find one period of domination that game too. They were not being able to find a way to set up and taking a few penalties here and there. And 2C1C was unable to punish them for those penalties, and just weren't able to hold their lead as well. Just that one goal not going to be enough in this series.
It was interesting, too. We talked about coming into this game. 2C, 1C had the chance if they could pick up, if they had swept Coronad in this series all in regulation, they would have not only overtaken Coronad in the standings by points, but still would have had 3 games in hand. Now, thanks to the way that these first 2 games have gone, they sit 8 points back of Coronad with 3 games in hand. Even with a win in game 3, they would have to win all 3 of those games that they currently have in hand to be able to tie Coronad in the standings. This is a situation, I don't know if I would call it a must-win, but this is a situation where you probably need to get at least a point, do you not?
Yeah, you need to get some type of ground on it. As we said at the beginning of the broadcast, it's also a chance to really go up against a team that's in front of you and be able to keep them where they're at. Right now, as you're saying, that increases. You're talking about that lead that just continues to just get stretched away, and each game that they're losing, they're just that much farther away. Even with those 3 games at hand, it's just not going to be enough for it to just find that way back. I mean, you went from having 4 points back to now 8 points back. And if you lose this game, that's just going to be 10 points back, and you're looking at a whole nother series you need to sweep and hoping for another team to take it into effect. Win tonight, and now you put fate back into your hands in your next series.
On the other side, if you are Coronad, you've got to just know at this point that you got to keep playing your game, right? Because if you could keep generating those shots on goal, I don't know that you could be stopped. If you continue to outshoot 2C, 1C like they have in the first 2 games, at some point you're going to pick up a goal just by sheer math.
And once again, it comes from their offensive dominance. They're being able to just take the puck into the offensive zone. And as you saw in that third period, eliminating 2C, 1C to only 1 shot again, like periods 2 and 3 of game 1. And just with that much dominance, you're going to find a way to score, and you're also going to limit any other scoring opportunities the other way.
We will see what happens here in game number 3. 2C, 1C did have a 1-0 lead in game number 2. Steve has 1 goal so far for 2 captains, 1 cup. Lucas had the 1 goal from game number 1. So those are your 2 goal scorers on that side. On the other side for Coronad, Sedge now with 3 goals between the 2 games. Pale with a goal and Zombie with a goal. Zombie scored in game number 1. Pale scored in game number 2. Sedge had 2 in game number 1 and 1 in game number 2. So all of the forwards really have been contributing heavily in the offensive end for Coronad, because even just saying who has put the puck in the net doesn't quite give you the full story as far as how those pucks got to the point of going in the net.
And you also got to give it up for K-Dog and Blue Line King defensively as well. They've been able to push up into the offensive zone, being able to get those steals, and they were doing some good pinches as well. Had backup and great communication between them and the forwards, as when every single time they were pushing up, somebody was there to cover them, reducing the amount of rushes the other way. They got burnt once, and they recovered from that and were able to just really come back and just have a stellar, especially third period.
Sedge, by the way, now tied for goals this season as a member of Coronad with Pale at 19. Sedge has played 11 games this season, so remarkable as his numbers continue to grow and climb with this team. So back in the white jerseys for game number 3 for Coronad, back in the all blue for 2 captains, 1 cup. Drew Goldfarb, a.k.a. Farbsy, joined by Bob, a.k.a. Scorch, here for this broadcast. This is game 3, our final game of tonight's triple header between Coronad and 2 captains, 1 cup. As the faceoff goes Coronad's way, they are the team in white. They'll be moving up on your screen throughout this game. 2C, 1C in all blue. They'll be moving down on your screen for this entire contest. K-Dog with it in his own end, circling with it, trying to find a lane to skate, and he will do so. Slows down a bit and just takes it across the other blue line as well. Now in the offensive end, K-Dog circling. Nice little backhand feed down low for Sedge. Gets it back for K-Dog in front and turned aside by Superstar. And then the puck just iced by 2C, 1C here just a couple minutes into period number 1.
All right, and just once again, 2C1C has to come out and be able to just get that dominance. This time they need to be able to hold it. They need to be able to throw Corroded off their game to find success.
2C1C won the face-off in the defensive end, and now what can they do with it as they have the puck in the neutral zone? It's going to be intercepted and then taken right back. So we talk a lot about the battles, or at least I do, with when you have the fight for possession between the tops of the circles in the offensive ends, or at the very least between the blue lines. Why is that when you're playing 6v6 hockey that there is so much focus on playing the trap, and why there's so many turnovers and possession changes between the blue lines?
Yeah, that just comes just from the way you have to play. I mean, if you let them get into your zone, it creates that much harder. Meanwhile, if you're able to play that trap, you're able to get that poke check around, or even that big hit in the center ice, then you're able to find a way to get them either offsides or get your own chances the other way, because turning in this game, being able to stop and go backwards is difficult. So if you have momentum, use it.
2C1C with an opportunity here, maybe a 2-on-1, but a great read and an intercept by K-Dog, but a quick turnover generates a backhand shot from Buffalo down low, and it was turned aside by Prophets of Rage. Now a chance the other way. Pale entering the zone, drops it off for K-Dog as he got hit. Puck is loose down low, now into the corner. Sedge scoops it up, circling. Nice little poke check delivered by Geinman and played back out. 2C1C now in the offensive end, and a trip coming up against Corona. So another power play chance, the first of this game for 2C1C, as we remain scoreless here almost midway through period number 1.
That's unfortunate for Blue Line. He tried to pull it away by skating the opposite direction. Once he realized that the protect puck was in effect, but just not enough time to be able to get away to be able to stop that penalty.
2C1C re-entering the offensive end, but a nice read and a steal by Pale. He'll make that long pass up. He was looking for Sedge on the short-handed opportunity the other way, but here comes Steve. Down low to the forehand, then he scores! A power play goal for SBDR, a.k.a. Steve. Steve, easy for me to say. Apparently I need some water, but that was an exciting play and a power play goal, the first special teams marker we have seen in this series tonight.
And the way it comes, it couldn't have come for a better time for 2C1C, as they just are able to get back that lead. This time in the first period, let's see if they can hold it this time.
Opportunity for Corona down low. That puck still loose in the low slot area. Scooped up on the backhand. That shot, Superstar gets across to make the save, as that was a huge opportunity in the low slot area for Corona. But again, Superstar recovering positionally and getting back into the spot to make the save he had to do. Doing what he had to do.
Last game, we look at Rage with his huge save, being able to keep that game within 1. And then this time, Superstar making sure that his team keeps the lead and not making that early lead just fall apart. Great save.
Blue Line King making the pass on ahead. Sedge with the opportunity now on the right side circle. Centering feed. That puck is still loose in front and now played back up to the point. K-Dog takes that shot at whistles just wide. Superstar reaches back and covers up for the whistle with 5:34 to go in period number 1.
And just
good opportunities there.
Once again, good opportunities, just not able to find it by. And then that snapshot, trying to sneak it right between the post and Superstar, just had a little bit too much on it and just shot it wide.
Sedge with a really good read going to the backhand, because he got Superstar to commit back towards center, but he missed very wide. I think that got deflected perhaps by a defenseman that was pressing him, and ends up out of play for another stoppage with 5:18 to go in period number 1. Steve checked off the puck, but he managed to get it into the offensive end, where it's scooped up by Sedge. Now playing it behind his own net, wrapping it back around up for Zombie. Zombie plays it on ahead for Pale. Pale in the offensive zone. What can he do? In the mid-slot area, trying to make that feed back towards the low slot, but it was intercepted. And then that pass intercepted back at center ice. K-Dog skating in offside. Will draw a whistle with 3:31 to go in the first.
And now you've got to be careful if you're 2C1C. Even though it is only the first period, there's still plenty of hockey to be played. You know Coronet's going to be coming in with a lot of aggression and trying to get themselves back into this game. If you can limit that, you stand a better chance by holding that lead.
Blue Line King with that nice steal on Young Buffalo down low in the defensive zone for Corona, but here's a chance now the other way. What can they do? Backhand wraparound try. Superstar not falling victim to that one. The puck loose back behind as a couple of nice hits were delivered by, that is going to be C-Dub there with it, now moving in. One-time feed for Young Buffalo, and that shot was turned aside, kicked away, or maybe just gloved and knocked down by Prophets of Rage. Puck now played back towards center. Final few seconds of period number 1. Pale takes the shot, ends up wide. Rebound chance, not enough time. As that does it for period number 1. Steve picking up the goal for the second game in a row. Steve has given his team a 1-0 lead after 1.
Shots on goal remaining equal after 1 period of play. But once again, Corona with just the time on attack. This time, 2C1C being able to play very, very well defensively inside their own zone. And Superstar coming up huge in that period with quite a few great saves in order to keep his team up. Now, a 2C1C must be looking for another goal to be able to hold this lead. They're looking for that second one as an insurance, as they saw what happened last game in the third period. They can get another second period goal, puts them in a little bit of breathing room.
We'll see what they can do as we are underway in period number 2, and 2C1C controls off the draw, but a nice hit by Sedge forces the puck loose. Sedge with it. Centers down low. That backhander thrown on goal by Zombie, but turned aside by Superstar. Puck played back towards center, where it's picked up by Corona, and now played back into their own end, where they're going to give chase and pick things back up. Nice hit delivered. A little bit of a collision behind the play there between two players from opposing teams. Shot from the slot area is blocked in front. There was no lane for Zombie to shoot. He tried to get it through, maybe just trying to generate some kind of a rebound, but the puck did not get through. Sedge re-entering the offensive end now. Sedge in the circle, trying to center. There was nobody there. It was intercepted. There were a couple of players for 2C1C that were in that passing lane. Sedge tried to force it through, but it was turned over. 2C1C in the offensive end. Played back towards the point, but just getting out of position was Geinman as that puck, maybe he misread it, maybe he thought it was going to go back towards the boards area, as that one instead ended up all the way back in the 2C1C end, where they managed to reset and get the puck all the way back out and down. But Corona scooping it up in their own end, plays it back towards neutral ice, and now Sedge dropping it off. This is Zombie leaving it for BLK down low, and we are tied yet again. Another goal scored by the captain, as Pale has made this a 1-1 game.
Yeah, Pale once again, captain coming up clutch as he just is able to tie up the game. And this time with just a great feed and able to just dance right into that slot. Backhand, forehand, and right into the net as he gets around Superstar.
That is a really tough thing if you're a goaltender to read, because it was a great pass. If you read the quick shot like Superstar seemed to do, you're ready for it in position, but if he does anything else, is here coming the other way, maybe a 2-on-0. Sedge fakes him out, and he scores, and it's now a 2-1 lead for Corona, and it just took seconds, and one big mistake breaks the tie in favor of Corona.
And that is heartbreaking for 2C1C, as once again you have that lead. You did a great job of holding it for that first period, and some of this period as well, and then just in matter of, once again, seconds, the lead has not only been lost, but has been flipped the other way.
That is just incredibly difficult, and another situation where Superstar didn't really have anything he could have done about it. Chance the other way for 2C1C, trying to force it in was Young Buffalo, but Rage standing up strong and making the stop. K-Dog steps in and holds it in the zone momentarily, but it's played back out to center by 2C1C. And now the battle continues. Opportunity on a rush. Steve down low, a great poke check delivered by K-Dog, knocks the puck free and towards the corner. And now Sedge moving out with it, has it taken away by 2C1C as we are past the halfway point of this contest.
Yeah, once again, a huge poke check away as Steve coming in on that breakaway has the one goal for 2C1C in this game, looking for that second one to try to tie it up, and just was denied from much without even getting a shot.
That puck was loose, but covered up by Superstar. An interesting pass play there as it was banked off the backboards. Taking another look at that huge hit delivered by Pale as he just crushed Steve right at the neutral zone and holding his head. You don't like to see that, although he's still on the ice. So hopefully he's doing okay. Interesting to see the face-offs going the other way here because 2C, 1C has not won the face-off battle in either of the first 2 games so far tonight, but currently now up 8-5 in the face-off battle here in game number 3. But crucially, they're trailing 2-1 on the scoreboard. Good steal and hold by K-Dog just inside the blue line, but unable to do anything with it. Moving the other way, Steve with it, trying to center himself, but has it taken away from him. A good job by BLK knocking the puck free. Sedge trying to center himself, backhand one-timer, and it's now a 3-1 game as BLK is going to get credit for that goal on a beautiful feed from Sedge.
BLK coming the right D, coming to the left side to be able to get in position for that goal, and it's just going from bad to worse if you're 2C, 1C, as this period, you just want it to end at this point. Regroup.
Sedge gets it down low for Pale, and it was played back, but intercepted by Geinman and played along the boards, and now out by 2C, 1C. Steve gets it into the offensive end, makes a nice little pass, short one, and now a nice little poke check, and then taken by Blue Line King and moved on ahead for Zombie. Back for BLK. Centering feed, it's down low, the puck is loose, and now behind the net where it's scooped up by 2C, 1C. Not able to clear it out. Zombie down low, good steal made. C-Dub recovering after his earlier mistake. Feeds it up. Lucas in, and he scores! A nice move, and that will at least stop the bleeding and make this a 1-goal game once again.
And that is absolutely a perfect way to get it. Just to come back, just come out strong with it. And as you said, stop the bleeding, because Coronad was just all over them for the remainder of for this period. And now with that, looking for see if you can get the momentum change.
Sedge moving, centering, loose puck scooped up by 2C, 1C and played on ahead. And Lucas in the offensive end loses possession, moving up, final 3 seconds. Sedge trying to generate one last chance, looked for the centering feed, and that will do it for an exciting second period of hockey. Shots on goal in that period, 5 for Coronad and 2 for 2C, 1C. The goals in that period, 3-1 in favor of Coronad.
A very exciting period, and there was a great play at the end for 2C, 1C as they tried to spring Lucas with that slap pass, but unfortunately a little bit too much on it and hit his leg, causing that animation. If they were able to get just a little bit in front of him, he's able to get that stick on it. Breakaway chance. We could be looking at a tie game going into the third, but unfortunately, Coronad is still up 1.
The goal scored by Lucas, the first real response goal that we have seen, aside from the first goal scored in this series by 2C, 1C, also scored by Lucas way back in game number 1. It is just the second goal that 2C, 1C has scored tonight after their opponents have scored in the game. Here's an opportunity as they have the puck down low, but a good job by the defenseman, specifically K-Dog, getting in that passing lane and making sure that that did not result in a dangerous shot attempt. BLK makes the feed on up for Sedge. He has been electric tonight. Sedge in the corner, backs towards the circle and the face-off dot, now takes it right back. Sedge feeds it up high. You can hear it ring off the post. BLK had the chance, now feeds it in. Pale feeds Sedge, and it's 4-2.
Superstar got lucky the first time it was shot up high, able to get it rung off the crossbar, but the second time, Sedge would not be denied, as once again, it is now a 2-goal lead once again for Coronad early here in the third period. Let's see if 2C, 1C can create some comeback magic.
4-2. It'll be interesting to see if they can. But this isn't going to help. 2-minute power play as a tripping call is coming against C-Dub. So Coronad now with a chance to go on the man advantage. We've seen a power play goal already in this game. That was on 2C, 1C's only power play chance of the contest. Coronad 0 for the night on the man advantage. This is their first chance here in game number 3 as 2C, 1C controls off the defensive zone draw and skates it all the way out. Now a centering feed down low for Lucas. He got a little bit of a redirect on it, but it ended up going a few feet wide. Could not deflect it past Rage, or at least not on goal and past Rage. Puck in the offensive end for Corona. Pale centers, one-timer, and they score. Zombie getting on the board, and that is a back-breaking power play goal for Corona.
Haven't seen a special teams goal for the whole night. Now we have 2 in this game, one coming from 2C1C, and you thought that might be enough to be able to get at them and springfold them forward, but Corona it's just been all them throughout the rest of it, and now with power play goal, they have a chance here to really just hold down the fort.
Well, there's Lucas with a quick response.
Oh,
Beautiful move on that deke that he just made to get around the defender and then to just fake out Rage and pick up the goal. It's now 5-3.
Yeah, just as I say it, they decide to come back right there. And now, once again, it's still a 2 goals down. Need to find a way to come back again. Still 12 minutes left in this third period.
Pale trying to get it down low. He was looking for Sedge, but it was intercepted. Here comes an Omaha play. A long pass made up. Lucas trying to center himself. What can he do? His shot was deflected wide. Puck loose. Scooped up by Buffalo and now played as Buffalo will scoop it up yet again. Up high. He's going to bank it off the boards. And that is scooped up by Lucas. Can't quite center it as it's picked up and picked off by Corona. Moved in. Sedge trying to center. It ends up in the corner. 2C1C will scoop up as we're past the halfway mark in period number 3. A 5-3 back and forth game and an offside whistle against 2C1C.
And that whole entire previous series was all 2C1C, but unable to find a shot as they had some opportunities. Just once again, a few pokes, a few lost pucks. They were able to find them, but the shots are just not there.
That was a shot from Lucas, but it was well played and covered up by Rage as a huge hit was delivered by the captain, Pale, just for some good measure there to knock him down for taking that shot from as close in as he did. Good face-off win by 2C1C. Huge block. Zombie, breakaway. He's got Sedge with him. Feeds him. He shoots it wide. Pale with it. In the corner. What an unbelievable chance for Corona. They slowed it down into a 2-on-0 breakaway and could not generate a shot on goal. 2C1C now breaking out the other way. Steve in the corner. Backhand pass around. Buffalo down low. Tried to center. Steve takes a shot. It may have gone off of the leg of his teammate in front. I believe that was Lucas that it may have hit. Sedge trying to break in past a defenseman, but it was well played. And now a steal. Pale to the backhand. Huge save made by Superstar. And the puck is now played out.
Scoring opportunities on both sides, but neither one able to come up with it. A few breaks from the goalies, and 2C1C hit the post from that one shot by Steve.
BLK with it, final 4 minutes of regulation time. A 5-3 lead for Corona as they look for the sweep. BLK turning it over. Long pass. Omaha play, but it goes on goal. Good little poke check there delivered by Lucas. And now it's offensive zone potential here for 2C1C, but the shot is blocked. Sedge plays it on ahead for Zombie. Zombie, one-time feed for Sedge, and he scores. That is a hat trick for Sedge, and it is now a 6-3 game as Corona just relentless offensively, and finally Sedge picking up the hat trick. This, his 6th goal of this 3-game series.
He's had a night, and meanwhile on the other side for Lucas was able to get that poke check, but lost sight of the puck, didn't see it go into the corner in time, and as a result, Rage was able to get back in position when Lucas, if he could have gotten that poke check and able to find that puck, might have been able to find a one-timer before he got back, but as a result, scored the other way. That's almost been the story of the night.
Puck deep into the offensive end for Corona, but it's then scooped up by 2C1C. Final 45 seconds of this game, of this series. We are seconds away from this being a 3-game sweep in favor of Corona. K-Dog in the offensive end will just send it towards the corner, and it's touched up by 2C1C, and that will draw the referee's whistle. And another power play chance for Corona. They capitalized on their previous chance, but 35.6 seconds left. Doesn't really matter if they score or not on this power play opportunity, but here they have possession, trying to feed Sedge, looking for his 4th. He's now behind, looking for that backhand wraparound. Superstar gets there, makes the save, and then plays it on out. Sedge with it in the corner. Final 20 seconds of this game. Puck comes towards the center where it's skated out by 2C, 1C. And now scooped up by Corona at their own blue line. Sedge will enter the offensive end. Sends it towards the net and wide into the corner. And this has been an incredible night for Corona. The backhand wraparound try is stopped by Superstar. And you could put it in the books. A 3-game sweep finished off with a 6-3 win in game number 3 by Corona. Take a look at those shots. 16-8. And yet again, that's a situation where when 2C, 1C was just dominated in shots on goal in a period, they were dominated on the scoreboard, and that was certainly the case in a huge third period by Corona.
And it just, once again, a huge third period, and also that second period as well, when they were able to get back that lead. And it just, 2C, 1C was just unable to find a way to hold that lead off. They got 2 leads in game 2 and in game 3, but they just were unable to find a way to hold defensively despite having such a good defense. They were able to hold Corona, eliminating their goals in the first 2 games, but that third game, it was just wide open. Might have been 2C, 1C trying to just, find a last game win, being a little bit more aggressive than they did the other 2 games as they realized how important that game 3 was that we talked about earlier on. Now Corona is 10 points ahead of 2C, 1C.
So just before we wrap things up here, Drew Goldfarb, a.k.a. Farbsy, joined by Bob, a.k.a. Scorch, here on this broadcast. Always like to go for a 3 stars of the series. We do play 3 games, so it makes sense to go with 3 stars anyway. I think we know who the first star is before we get into who the other 2 are. It's got to be Sedge. Unbelievable performance for him tonight. I don't think there's really an argument to be made. Otherwise, 6 goals for him in addition to however many assists and scoring opportunities he generated. He's got to be the first star tonight, right?
Oh, absolutely. Without him, you look at the goals coming from Pale, but really, Sedge just was able to just dominate the scoreboard. Like that 4th game, he was able to finally get his hat trick. Game 1 had 2 goals, and really made it so his team could be able to just rely on him. You get to that left side of the ice, and he's there to be able to make some type of scoring opportunity.
So who are your other 2 stars of the night behind Sedge? And in no particular order, who are your 3rd and 2nd stars of the night?
I would have to go with Superstar as one of them, just because he kept his team in it for so long. I mean, you look at that 3rd game in particular, he made some big saves in that first period, being able to limit the scoreboard, keeping that lead, and then even in the other games, eliminating the chances just until that 3rd period for game 2, and has faced so many shots in that through tonight. I mean, Corona took so many shots in each game. Superstar was right there on top of them, being able to just limit the amount of damage done.
Yeah, by my math, he faced 56 shots on the night and had a save percentage of just above 80%. So basically in line with his season save percentage, but just faced 56 shots on goal, which is insane over the course of 3 games. A bit of a tip of the hat to Prophets of Rage as well. I don't think that he was tested quite as much, but he had a number of big shots that he turned aside when he had to. Game number 2 was incredibly close, and Rage played really well in that contest. He also played well in game number 1 in that first period, preventing 2C, 1C from jumping out. I've got 2 in mind here for the other star. Who do you see?
I'm going to see Pale is one of them, and I would also see Steve as the other one, as he was able to get on the board early for 2C, 1C in both of those games, and had a few good plays as a result as well.
I do like Pale. I do think that he played a very good game or a very good series. He was great in the face-off circle, especially in those early games. Just controlling in there, a lot of setups on plays, an assist machine as he's been all season long. I did also like on their end, a guy who didn't really light up the stat sheet, but that's not necessarily his job. K-Dog, really great positioning for Corona in the defensive end. The amount of times that I basically had to point out the left defenseman, especially because he was challenged by Lucas so many times on rushes the other way was really impressive to me. Lucas, I think, if only for game number 3, he was the only one to score in game number 1. The only goal for 2C1C in game number 2 was by Steve. He did have 2 goals in game number 3 that kind of kept 2C1C at least momentarily in it. I'd probably lean more towards K-Dog than Lucas, but I kind of like any of those that we got. So that is basically what we've got for you here on the 239 Hockey League. Drew Goldfarb, a.k.a. Farbsy, and Bob, a.k.a. Scorch. I like to give you the last word, so what is the last word? What is the last thing you got on your mind for this evening before we wrap up?
Was just a great series throughout, very close games, and a lot of fun to watch.
So, well, thank you so much for joining us here, for watching the broadcast, for watching it live, for watching it afterwards. However you saw it, we really appreciate it. Hope that you're staying safe and healthy out there in this crazy time in the world. And once again, Corona'd a 3-game sweep, all in regulation, over 2 captains, 1 cup. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great